Hello everyone, welcome to the Team JNC Collectibles channel. I'm Shunping, today bringing you a new deck profile from second place finish in YCS Providence this past weekend. So this is a pretty good weekend. I haven't been doing this well for a while, and most of you probably have already seen me on feature match on stream. Unfortunately, I lost in the finals to Charlie. Congratulations to Charlie winning YCS Providence. However, to me, this is still a pretty good weekend despite being second place. I'm still very satisfied with performance of myself, my deck, and quite a few things about everything. So before I really start the deck profile, let me some shout outs. Shout out to obviously my sponsor team, Team JNC. Pretty good team, pretty good teammates and then team leaders. Shout out to my other sponsors, JJ Collectible for sponsoring the team. And then that being said, let's hop into the deck profile. So I ended up choosing Finsmith Ryzeal, as most of you have already seen on stream. I didn't like Malice. I was too hesitant about playing Mitsu Ryzeal. Mitsu Ryzeal, well, I guess that's the easier one, is a bit too new. I just wasn't confident about like how to handle it to the format. It's just too new, and then the combos are good, but they fear being drilled a bit too much. That actually technically applied to Malice as well, for different interruptions. Malice is like, I tried it. My problem with Malice, I couldn't be myself in the mirror with the same kind of deck. I just like pretty much realized I have to high roll my opponent every single time if I win with Malice. So at the end, I just came up with finding a deck that's suited myself better. I will be talking about these format things, deck choices, other thoughts, more detailed explained in my own channel, Yugioh Lab, and then with like probably a way longer deck profile. So the one you're seeing right now on Team JNC is gonna be a more condensed, like simplified, it's just some standard deck profile. So I guess I'll start as monster, like I mentioned, it's Finsmith Ryzeal, so I'll start with the Finsmith part. 3 engraver, 2 Lacrima, Alluri, and then 3 Track, and a Paradise. So actually, correct myself, different than Finsmith Ryzeal, as people know as this deck pre-banless last format. This honestly now is more a Ryzeal Fiendsmith deck. The main engine, in my opinion, is Finsmith, not Ryzeal anymore. I really want to play a deck main engine Ryzeal, like even in the form of Finsmith Ryzeal, but I just can't because the ban list hits way too many Ryzeal names. There's just not enough names to do that now. So now compared to Finsmith Ryzeal pre-ban list, funny to say, this like more Finsmith deck is closer to Pack and Joshua Schmidt's I think YCS Bologna in last November, that I think Finsmith's cash deck, or some other people played like Finsmith Tenpai at the beginning, I think Suda format, and then or Finsmith Malice post banless like in the past couple weeks. It's more, the main engine is actually Finsmith, not Ryzeal. Ryzeal is just like, it's the best normal summon I can have in the Finsmith deck. So this is also why you see the max number of Tracked, which is like not the usual if Finsmith is your second engine. Tracked, in my opinion, is almost as good as Engraver. Like Engraver, starting as Engraver do end you 1 extra life in body in the graveyard for some specific combos that require it. But opening is Tracked, bypassing draw completely. So there's actually pros and cons of each. I just ended maxing both, and I never even side out any despite Track being once per turn. I mean, technically also Engravers. And then because it's also still a Ryzeal deck in Ryzeal engine in the deck, I need enough level 4 bodies to go into dual drive to bridge the Fiendsmith and my Ryzeals. So 2 Lacrima is needed, and then I do occasionally like even just Tracked into Lacrima to no more second Lacrima, make a dual drive. Happens a lot. So this is the Finsmith engine, the main engine of the deck. The second part is just the sub engine, the Ryzeal I mentioned. 3 eyes, 2 eyes wishes, 3 eyes, 2 eyes, 2 X, 2 sword, 1 node, 1 bonfire. These are just most of what I can play. Star Ryzeal doesn't work well in this deck at all, so I didn't even bother. I tried it, it was not working well with it, so I didn't even play it. you see here, there's not even Ryzeal Cross in my deck because I realized the card is kind of brick. In this Finsmith version of Rasio deck, you never really grab Field Spell early to protect your combo. Ryzeal Cross is just another layer of your interruption at the end of the combo, which at the end it's more brick. Like I don't even guarantee recycle to like 2 Ryzeal names with Cross even I get to it, because sometimes I just need the Ryzeal bodies like a dual drive in the graveyard to make Eclipse Twin alive. At that point, like if I'm not even recycle Ryzeal names, then that card is kind of like it's unnecessary because the main engine is no longer Ryzeal, it's more Fiendsmith. Drawing Cross is just a brick, and then because it's still a Fiendsmith deck, I need as many protection against Fua and other hand traps as possible. To be completely honest, the Finsmith engine and the Ryzeal engine naturally have some ability against Fua. It's just having additional like ways to deal with it is never bad. And Call by Grave is way better than I expected after testing, because it gives Malice. Going second, this hitting White Binder actually is like a decent level of interruption, like almost a board breaker. Mini board breaker. So having this, like I even keep this going second. It's just like we need as many things against Malice as possible. So this ends up being like just always in the deck. And Crossout is like my going first combo, if it resolves, still big enough to just all the win the game. So Crossout is still needed or good to have against like Full Well specifically, and or specifically Nib and Imperm, the thing that like Call by Grip cannot hit. Sometimes I just like keep the Crossout and then I cross out their Imperm on my boss monster like Caesar or Detonator, which does also come a lot. So this is the Ryzeal engine, the second portion of the engine, and these are like 20 cards essentially. My engine portion, I guess I threw the Callback and Crossout into part of my engine. The rest of the deck, all hand traps. This is a 40 card list with a 20 to 20 hand trap ratio, and you will see there are 3 Fua, 2 Prulia, 2 Meows, then 3 Ash, 2 Bell, 2 Nib, 3 Valor, 3 Imperm. Some of them are relatively self-explanatory. I just go through it very quick. The Ash, Valor, Imperm, it's like a must. Some people say, okay, Valor kind of sucks. Negations are naturally not the greatest in the format. Like some people argue, Bell is just better than Valor. I agree to some degrees, but I was like, I don't have to figure out the answer of that question. I can just run both, right? And then that actually was one of the last changes the week prior. I was not running Bell at all, and then some people asked me the question, which one's better between Bell and Valor. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna cut Cross and then have spaces and fill all of them. And why I say all of them is only 2 Bells. 2 Bell, 2 Nib is the other one. Because 2 Bell and Nib are hard ones per turn hand trap. So and we are in a format where we need to pair up hand traps. And sometimes if I play 3 of them, I have a theory where if you play anything at 3, drawing 2 of them is like likely to happen. You expect it to happen some point in the tournament. But if you play a 2 off and drawing both, it's like something very less likely to happen. You expect it not to happen, right? So in a format where we need to pair up hand trap to make them useful, playing 3 Nib and having your first Nib pair up your second Nib, which pair up into nothing, not really acceptable. That also applies to Bell, because Bell is also a more specific anti-Malice hand trap. It doesn't really work that well in the format in general. It's still good enough to run in the main deck, but it's not good enough to I'll say Ash, because I need as many things against Fua or Chummies in general as possible. So despite this being a hard one per turn, I still have to run 3 of them. So that's like these hand trap. Then the last 7 Chummies. 7 Chummies is like the weird number that a lot of people don't see it. At the very beginning, I was also playing 6 Chummies, like 3 Fua, 3 Prulia, in testing. Because if you don't know, I went back to China during December, January, February. I actually played the Alliance Inside format over there. I was playing 3 Prulia and actually 2 Fua with 2 Maxi over there. And Prulia was doing better because the format was like slightly different, with actually pure Ryzeal being actually a solid deck compared to here. However, after I came back, I realized the difference during testing is like Prulia is not as good due to the fact OCG only had 1 allure And here we have 3 allures. So it makes sense for some Malice people just still play allure, and allure into underground after a Perulia, then it's like absolutely I'm not getting any draws. So after realizing that, I talked to a few other testing buddies, and then we made the conclusion that maybe we just lower the number of Perulia and moving some meows from the side to the main deck. That end was like 7 chummies. I didn't want to play like 3-4-3 meows because I was worried like what if I just queue into we still don't know like I didn't know the actual representative of the whole format at the beginning, so I don't want to play 3-3 and somehow didn't queue into as many Malice as I expected. So just to have a better coverage, I ended up going 3-2-2. I think 3-2-2 works quite decent. Funny to say, these are the level 4 hand traps, so I actually normal some of them quite a bit. They are half of the dual drive after like attract. Right, so these are pretty much the main deck hand traps, and then the third engine of the deck. So that's my main deck. The rest of the deck is kind of self-explanatory. Like the extra deck is just almost standard Ryzeal Fiendsmith, like Detonator, Dual Drive, Twin, Aggregator, Excitom, the Rasio extra deck, and Requiems. 2 Requiems came up a lot. Sequence, Agnum Day, Moon, Desiree, Necrocrib, Caesar, Chaos Angel. These are the next 9 are guaranteed extra deck for the Finsmith engine. The only flex spot is just this SP. Not gonna lie, I didn't summon this at all. I just didn't think I was able to cut it because it seems like it could come up at some point. I think it probably, especially doing like a mirror, like a Finsmith variant deck mirror matches, but I didn't play any of those. So that's why this never came up. This could be a Typhon, not gonna lie. That was honestly the 16 card extra deck, but I ended up choosing SP. I think I will still prefer SP over Typhon. There's some pros and cons, but I just didn't play the matches I expected that needed SP at the end. That's why I don't even think I summoned SP, maybe once. So yeah, these are the extra deck. Extra deck is quite simple, not as like people say spicy about the main deck compared to. So extra deck. Then the side is also like just a lot of backup things. The Cowboy for time, the Ryzeal Cross, like I mentioned, I only use this going first, pretty much just to get under the layer of my interruptions for my combos. So that's why the side. 3 Lancia, you know what kind of format we are. The 2 Bestials, surprising, barely ever get used. I never side them in. Why? Because I never play the matchup that required these Bestials. Funny to say, I thought we're gonna have a format where there's gonna be a lot of other people playing decks like this, just Finsmith, tons of hand trap pile deck, and actually have an edge against Malice. So just in case I queue into someone who think like myself, maybe we're gonna play a Finsmith variant mirrors. That's why I wanted these. But at the end, I didn't play any. My matchup so I played, I had 2 round bye going to so out of the 9 rounds of Swiss plus 5 round top cut, 14 rounds total. I played 4 Mitsu Ryzeal and 10 Malice, nothing else. So these are never being used, but I didn't regret to play them. Then there's Crow and Droll. These are all my Mitsu answers. Crow is better than Bestial in my opinion because Crow can hit their ritual spells that Bestial cannot. Also, there are moments where they actually touching their graveyard without putting a monster on the board, where like at that point the Bestial are kind of dead. So I think in my opinion, Crow is better, along with the Bell in the main deck. And then the last of least, going first, I was like originally playing a thrust package, but it takes too many spots for different normal traps, your thrust targets, to have a good coverage for the entire format. At the end, it's just taking too many spaces in the side for going first. I was just like cutting the whole thrust package and replace it with strike. Strike on the other hand has the good point where if your Malice opponent like set a card almost on like a Dormouse or a Rabbit, you can just strike it, ignoring what they can have in the back row to dodge if it's in the gate or something. So yeah, strike is just the better going first card at the moment. So yeah, this is the side deck. It's also pretty simple, I will say. So this is pretty much the whole deck. I will have more explanations about like formats, my thoughts on this deck and other decks, my whole logic line of why Endo is actually choosing this. More stuff in my own channel and probably like an hour or 2 hour long video. So this one is going to be a condensed short one, just a simple deck profile, giving everyone almost a sneak peek of everything. And that being said, I am appreciating this time. I got very lucky. Have shout out to all the people who support I got from the testing group I had. And that being said, I hope you like this second place finish deck profile, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.